Let's get ready to rumble!
Hello there, how you all doing? Well, here we are. It's another foot golf podcast show from the Foot Golf Association of England. Do hope you're all well. It's one that we've decided to bring as it's incredibly close to Christmas right now, and we've got to look back on the very recent European Championships held in Turkey just over a week ago now. That's already flying by the time there, and in most respects, generally a very successful tournament. But we'll be talking to some of the players that were involved in that competition in just a short while. But to give us some updates on some news and some stuff that's happening in the new year, plus obviously to try and get some more tickets sold for the Christmas Eve draw, because yeah, we're going to tell you about that as well. Let's bring President of the Foot Golf Association of England in Paul Boulton. Hello, Paul.
Good evening, Rob. How are you?
I'm good. Lovely to see you once again. This time, it's a lot warmer. I've got for me anyway.
Yeah, no, it's like you say, it's quite shocking. It's been a week since we were out there. But no, I think credit has to be given. I thought it was an excellent tournament. I thought the work that went in, it was quite seamless. To be fair, really enjoyed it. I had a lot of good feedback. So no, I think it was a good success. And I think from our own personal point of view, I know the guys will touch on it. I think we tick the boxes we could tick at this current time. I think it's a great success. To finish fourth in the men is a great achievement, and eighth in the seniors. I think one thing we learned in the seniors was how good these seniors are. That's frightening. But yeah, no, it was really good. Like we say, nice to see you back in the warm though, Rob.
It was like you say, the overall the tournament itself, from I will catch up with the players from their perspective. I can imagine it was run very well. Obviously, the courses, there was never from looking on break up in play. There was never hold ups in play. So it just seemed to flow quite nicely in that respect. So obviously there are other certain issues and but nothing to really do with the tournament itself.
No. I thought it was good, and we had some good old English weather, didn't we? As well, Monday was quite horrific,
chucking it down, wasn't it?
But the courses handled it. They're designed for the extreme rain, aren't they, out there? So no, it was really good. It was a positive experience. I think that's the big one to take out of it. And congratulations to everyone who played, organised, the marshals. Very good, really impressed.
Yes, it was a good tournament overall. Now, I did briefly mention the Christmas Eve draw.
Yep.
That I know you are doing. I think now is a great time to mention that. We'll obviously remind everyone, and we can get it out there And
Yeah, the
get
Christmas
some
draw
more
is
entrants.
something we do every year. Sets the tour off very well. Gives somebody a nice Christmas present, so you can win a free season ticket, which includes the English Open. There's also the English Open on its own with 3 nights accommodation. That's worth around £500. And then there's the regional Opens, which again for £10-20 a ticket, it supports the tour and it's going to get somebody some great prizes going into 2025. So yeah, no, it's a really good initiative. I think that's the word.
How do I enter?
The links are all on our social medias. They're in chat groups. They're in emails. I am sending them quite regularly.
Right, good. Well, the draw is going to be made in a couple of days' time as well. What time? Just to let everyone know.
It will be 7 o'clock Christmas Eve.
7 p.m. Christmas Eve. Right. So get your tickets now. You can search on social media, find the info just there, and sort of enter into that draw. And good luck to everyone getting involved.
It's a good thing. So yeah, just a couple of other little bits just to update people on.
Yes, give us some news.
As people will have seen, the tour has now been launched, so that's out there in the public domain, which leads on to membership. There's no membership available just yet, unbeknown to probably most people. To align ourselves with the FIFG, we are moving our scoring system back to Blue Golf. So we're just going through meetings and transitions to get that up and running. So I will update people as I know anything. But that's going quite smoothly at the minute, so I don't want to jinx that. So memberships will be available very soon. The season tickets have gone live today. They're on our shop. Again, the links available on the website, social medias. And yeah, it's all starting to take shape, should I say.
It's like one season's just ended and suddenly the next one is
to be honest, people, some people see it. We're talking to courses now for 2026. Them conversations are happening already. So yeah, no, it's a lot of work, but it is worth it. Like we said, we get the rewards of the Euros, the World Cup qualifications coming now. So yeah, the rewards are worth it. There's definitely, the work is worth it.
And that's good to hear. Right, well, as you know, we've started off talking about the European Championship. Let's bring in a few of the players that were there over the last week. We've got players joining us from the seniors. We'll have Paul Hammond, and from the men's competition, we're going to have Tom Williams, and we've got Dan James all joining us as well. So welcome, gentlemen. Hello.
Evening.
All there as well. Paul, you mentioned, let's say we've got the Hamo joining us there. And obviously, and yourself played in the seniors competition. You mentioned the senior competition, how strong that now is. So give us a little bit more info on that. You both could.
I'll let you take that one, Paul.
Yeah, it's very strong. And that reflects obviously the quality that was on show in the tournament. I think what you're getting a lot now of is older men that were maybe 3 or 4 years ago, 40, 41 years of age, now touching 45 and beyond, and it just ups the quality, ups the fitness levels, ups the expectations really on the seniors that have maybe been seniors for a long time. So, it's just more challenging.
Yeah, I think just touching on that, we face the champions, France, and the levels were impressive, very impressive.
And yeah, it was obviously a great tournament. And thing is, in the past, and Paul's, when you'd have the blue ribbon event, the men's seniors, or the men's competition, and then the seniors was sometimes looked as a secondary event, whereas now it doesn't look any different. You're watching it, and you're seeing the men's competition, the play, the putts that are made, and you're seeing the seniors, doing exactly the same thing, and there doesn't seem to be like a distinct difference between them anymore. You know, it's like Paul's saying, it's people that have come up and have experienced the game. They're hitting the ball as well as others, and you know, there's no real difference other than age, and that that's not really much of a huge difference now.
No, you can't buy experience, can you? These guys are, we played Italy and France were the two notable ones for me. They were just levels above us. In fairness, and I'm sure the boys won't mind me saying it. They were just better.
Yeah, we've got Tom here. Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah, fitness levels, and let's not kid ourselves. We played 9 rounds in 7 days. For anyone of a normal age, that's a big tough expectation, and for older people, should we say, of a senior ilk, that's tough. That means not just being ready for it, but looking after yourself as you go through the week, preparing properly, warm up properly, warm downs, doing all those things correctly is so important.
Well, there's a lot. Luckily, the venues did have all like the pools and the obviously all the facilities for people, everyone to start looking after themselves. And they were probably the busiest places in the whole week, seeing everyone in those and sort of warming up, cooling down, everything. So it really was. Tom, Dan, you're both here as well. A very successful overall, I would say, in the men's competition, and I know that Tom, your stats were very, very good overall. If we're looking into stats, I know Paul has those, and we'll share those, I'm sure. But overall, how do you feel the competition went?
It was great. It was a great experience. I've already messaged Bolt personally, but again, just a quick thank you to him for the amount of organisation and time he put in. It's a thankless task getting everybody together and organising that. So thank you, Paul, again. The week was excellent. I thought it was exceptionally well run. I thought the courses were in fantastic condition. All brought a little something different. Obviously, we played 6 matches at 2 on each course, and for me, I just thought we made real progress as a country. I thought we made real progress in the men's and the seniors. Huge steps on from the World Cup, and I think the togetherness over the week was really key. And you can see in some of the other countries that have had the sort of same sort of similar people for a number of competitions, and where they are on unity and relationships and team building and morale. And I think it was a really good week for us on that basis of getting to know people a lot better, getting to know people on the course, off the course, in different situations. And let's be real, sort of pairs match play foot golf is something very, very, very unique, and it's something very different, and probably something that we just need to get just that little bit better and a little bit more clinical with. And I think looking forward to World Cup 26, it's something that as a group that we definitely need to work on. But looking forward to that already.
I think we talked about a lot in the week. We talked about synergy, and as Tom has already said, the togetherness of the group was evident as the week went on. We started really well. The first game against the Dutch, we knew it was going to be a tough task. Lots of experienced players in their squad, but we came out with the victory. Some really good performances. Carried that on into the next day where we had 2 games, and really good performance against Ireland. Followed it up in the afternoon with a really tough game against Turkey. That was a real surprise. They were a tough team. There was a lot needed in the game. Certain things happened in the game, which meant that certain players in our squad had to step up and really perform to the top of their ability to get us, in the end, a draw, which saw us top the group. And that was a key moment for us. I think we really sort of galvanised us as a whole team, a collective, to get through that game against Turkey, because come down to literally the last kick of the game to get us that draw. And in the end, walking off, going into a quarter-final against the Czechs, and the Czech Republic had a fantastic tournament. Real underdog performance. Came out of the other group with Slovakia, got a victory against the Slovakians, who ended up winning the competition. So back on Kaya Plaza, we knew it was going to be a really tough task against them. And they've really sort of surprised us all. But again, a really strong performance. Which carried on then to a victory for us, 4-1. And then we got to go to the semi-finals, which is obviously against one of the top teams, Spain. I mean, for me personally, disappointed on the day. If you look at the scoreline, a lot of the games came down to the final few holes. Myself, Tom's game, Max's games, losing the game on the 18th hole. Could have swung either way. Looking back on it, really, for us and as individuals as well, is really now a time of reflection to, really think about what we did well, but also where we can improve. Talking about the pairs and individual synergy, of trying to find the right, I still feel we were very close to getting it right. But unfortunately, at the top level with Spain, they were just too good on the day. And, when you step up to play Slovakia, France and Spain, you've got to be really on it and have that trust in the whole team and be able to execute. We didn't quite execute on the day. So overall, I feel like, for seniors and the men, getting the World Cup qualification, getting out of groups, great achievement. And we can definitely build on this momentum going forwards. I was really happy to see, our progression from Brain Trust to the Four Nations. But now this is one of the big competitions in the world of football for team sport. So, hopefully now we can sort of start building towards the World Cup.
Yeah, well, it's definitely been nice to see that progression. You were talking about the team coming together, and there was one moment that I saw, and it involved Tom, and it was in that Turkey game. But like you said, it was one of those games that had a bit of, the two teams obviously both wanting to win. It was very, very competitive. But there was a bit that was this happened just here, and Tom, this is actually you. That we're seeing just here. So this was it was, I think, at a point where you needed to get back into it because they'd started pulling away. And watch this reaction. It's like you can see everyone in the background joining in there as well. But it was like I think it was because you were behind at one point in that game, and I think you just got it back with that putt.
Yeah, it went to, like Dee said earlier, went to the last match, the last hole, and the last kick. And I spoke to the boys before the Turkey game, and I said, look, please don't be anyone be surprised if this is a straightforward match, because it really won't be. Look, those guys play that course 5-6 times a year. They know it inside out. Home nation, a real sort of togetherness, and fiery and big characters. And I think at one point it really, I think it looked like we were cruising the match, and then and all of a sudden, with sort of 3 or 4 games finished, we sort of fell behind. It was as you said, last hole, last match, last hole, last kick, and I just wanted to be in front of him on the drive, in front of him on the approach. Spoke to Benno and Duff, and I was semi-confident that he wasn't going to make the putt. I really didn't think it was a gimme. So I just wanted to be in front of him and on the green, and make him have that pressure of missing the putt, and he did.
Yeah, and it was like the great reaction, especially such like you say at the late stage of the game where you'd been up, and then when you go down, sometimes it's hard to get back into the game, isn't it? When when suddenly the pressure's on, it's like, whoa,
we have to go to the left back marina. Yeah, God, don't backfire.
Sorry, my headphones clicked off. I missed the question.
That's right. Yeah, I was just saying sometimes it's hard to get back into a game. When you start so well, and then the other team sort of come up, and then you're like, well, we've got to raise it again now, and that's always the hardest bit to do, isn't it?
I think
for sure. Sorry, Dave, I thought it was to me. Apologies.
I was just going to just say, one of the things that happened in Tom's match was something that we had to deal with, and I was just a kudos to both Benno and Tom. Losing one of the balls for a disqualification, which we won't go into any more in detail, but to sort of step up in those moments Benno and Tom and the teamwork that it took to actually, pull the game and pull something out of the fire for us was real. Like I said, it galvanised us as a group, and it coming down to the last. I've seen Tom do this before. I'm not surprised. The drive, the approach, put under pressure. That term's just meat and drink. And just showed his class there. So, and Benno supporting him, absolutely fantastic, playing holes. Benno had an injury at the time, and had to come and step in on certain holes where, which favoured the right footer. So again, the collective teamwork was absolutely fantastic. And, as vice captain, it was very impressive to watch that. So yeah, really, really good stuff.
Yeah, it was great to watch.
Considering that 15 holes that you had to play against 2 balls as well. So it's, just showed the levels, and there was no room for any mistakes. So yeah, it was a great performance. Showed some English grit. So really good to watch.
Yeah, so definitely that. So overall, you as a team finished 4th. What were your expectations going into the competition? Now, I know, I'm sure it was like to win it, but but it was the first, I suppose, real tournament that you had what you would consider all of the right players, the best players ready to go. So, did you meet your expectations, or did you feel that right now we've got what have we got to work on before we move up and possibly then maybe challenge for the World Cup?
Look, I think you go into every event tournament looking to win, but it's very easy to just say the words. You need to have a plan in your head. You need to have structure. It was really important that we took every game as it was. You can't look further ahead in the next game, especially in tournament events. You can get drifted away. You could, for instance, you could rest players. You think you've completed the group. All of a sudden you finish second instead of first, and you part. So you really have to just focus on the game in front of you. But realistically, I thought we could win the event. Look, 6 points in these match play rounds, 6 points up, and let me tell you, every single game is incredibly tight. The games we won incredibly tight, and the game we lost in the semi. The scoreline didn't look like it was so tight, but let me tell you, it was still a tight match. Yes, they were better than us on the day, but the finest of moments and situations can really flip games around. But as Deej touched on earlier, it's all experience. And the reason that you see the same sort of 2 or 3 countries going really deep into competitions is they've had these strong unity and been around for a long time, been together for a long time, and all these tournament experiences that you gather and you gather and you gather and you keep, and then we will be a lot stronger come the next international tournament for sure. And as well, we were missing. I think we were missing a couple of players. That a couple couldn't make it that would have been in the squad as well, which could have made a difference as well.
Yeah, and you've got young, like you were saying, the younger players, the experience for them, players like Max Baker. Let's throw someone of his ilk who is really progressing well on the larger stage. For him in that sort of tournament team, that's only going to put him in good stead, isn't it?
1,000,000%. Let's get nothing wrong here. Max has been nothing short of sensational all season. Like literally all season. Been lucky enough to play 4 or 5 big events with him abroad as well. You can just he's this close to winning a major. That's where his game's got to. Really good performances in Europe and in America. He's got a calmness about him. He used to be a lot more wild on the course, not off the course. But his consistency now that you see is brilliant, but he's got to a level where he's so consistent you now expect it from him. But the actual tournament experience, I think it was a great thing for him. I managed to go around with him in the Ireland match, and really enjoyed that. And we spoke, and we were learning things about situations. And again, I thought he was sensational all weekend. And if I'm honest, he's been unbelievable all season.
Yeah, and his stats back that up, don't they? 5 wins and a loss, and he lost that on the 18th.
Yeah.
So You know, it speaks volumes.
That's yeah. It's just, it's just great. It was great to see. I was watching. Obviously, I was watching all of the games that were going on and seeing when luckily they put cameras on like before everybody started teeing off and everything, and seeing people coming together, the huddles and everything like that. There was a couple of teams that they did their own things. There was not. There was like 3 or 4 getting warmed up over here, 4 a couple getting warmed up in different place. Whereas the England team, much like the French team, the Spanish team, those teams, the Slovakian team as well, all those teams at the very very top, they were the teams that you could see were teams, not so much as a group of individuals together. It was a group of players that had come together, and you could see them backing each other up. Whether they're playing in different matches, they're teeing off behind everything, but there's still that level of support for each and every member of the team. That's how it came across from my side. Obviously, was that how it was actually out there?
That's what we were looking for, to be honest. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. We've got a situation where finally we've got Ben Clark, Max Baker, Tom Williams, Tom Stott, got players and Bobby Hopkinson making their debuts. And the most important thing for me and Tom and us was to get that integration with the rest of the players that had played for England before. And I thought we managed to do a good job of that, and getting each other, just performing and sort of preparing correctly. That sort of came with a very professional approach from everybody. Everyone bought into what we were doing, and prepared for the games right, and started off well and supporting each other. That's what it was all about, really. So that was good that you've actually seen that from from the outside. But again, like shooting for the Spain game, looking at the Spain game, different environment, the warm up, different place. It was a different atmosphere. I feel there was a little bit of nervousness about us. I think we might have to look at that in the future and say, when it comes down to those semi-finals or those type matches, that we make sure that we, are preparing. Maybe we can change our approach for the environment that we're about to face. I think some of us were a little bit, but a bit nervous and a little bit underprepared, just for the difference in environment and the wind. It was just a different sort of environment to be in at the start of the game. Wind was howling, it was wet, it was cold. So like looking at it from a sort of reflective point of view, I think that might have sort of set us off on a difficult footing. But again, we managed to put up a fight, and going forwards, we're hoping that we can learn from it. So
yeah, well, that's all you'll ever want to do.
Yeah.
Paul Boulton, throwing to you now. Obviously, the tournament that we've had, the European Championships, with the men, we had the seniors. England, unfortunately, didn't have a women's team in the competition. Is there something that the association as a whole are going to be looking to sort of progress and try and build that women's game just a little bit more, so that there can be a team in future?
Yeah, it was important. Unfortunately, the women couldn't commit in numbers, so we couldn't commit to a team, which is really unfortunate. But no, we've got a plan. I've sat down with one of the women. We've had a couple of meetings. She's going to be working hard with me. We're going to try and put on some women-only events, try and get the women together. It's difficult. It is difficult. But, we need to pick up them that don't want to play football anymore. That's the target market at this present second. But yeah, there's a plan in place. Like everything, it just takes time. That's the problem. But no, we're hoping. The plan is we bring a women's team to the World Cup. 100%. That has to happen. It has to happen.
Yeah. I think that's it's with the success of women's football over the last few years as well. It is something that the association are sort of tying in with and building that up, because a lot of people might enjoy sort of the women's football, but just aren't able to play it or wish to play it or able to run as much.
No, I think
and stuff like that. So it might be able to sort of get foot golf in that way.
Yeah, foot golf offers a nice alternative. It's not competition with football.
No.
Because football will always win. I think we'd all agree on that one. But foot golf offers a nice environment, but it's just kicking them right doors open, which we are currently working. We're scrambling, let's say.
Right.
We have a plan and we're scrambling.
Good. That's good. And obviously, with the there was a mention of World Cup in 26. Now I know that's not it's not been decided or anything like that, but with the Football Association of England, the progression that's been made in this past tournament, and Dan brought up Brains Trust, Four Nations, and how the team is coming together. How do you see the future for the world of foot golf in this country?
I think it can only grow. I see what's being put in the background. It has to grow. We have to work hard. Not just me. Everybody's got to put a shift in, and we continue to grow what we've got. We've come a long, long way in 4 years. I'd have probably laughed at you 4 years ago if you'd have said we were sat here losing a third place playoff against France in the European Championships. But it's where we've come. We've come on a very quick journey, a little too quick at times, but we'll keep up and we'll keep working hard. And it's just working hard and making connections, and it's really difficult, but we'll keep doing it. We just keep working.
That's really good to hear. I'm sure everyone at home watching also will be pleased to hear that. And if you are interested in foot golf of any variety, you want to try it out, and it obviously doesn't matter your age, that you want to get involved at FGAengland.com. We'll have the address pops up on the bottom of the screen every now and then. It'll be at the end of the video as well. Or just type in Foot Golf Association of England across any social media, and you'll be able to find all of the information just there. Now, we were expecting Daniel to be joining us. I don't know if
I'm just messaging now.
All right, he's having some problems. Daniel from Slovakia, the current European champions. So
if you need some time filled, Rob, I can talk to you through some of my worldie putts if you want.
Oh, I haven't got that much time.
Okay, no worries. We might need a whole podcast for it.
We'll do a special. We'll build up all the videos. Excuse me. I was going to say, obviously France played in the third, fourth playoff. I'm sure you got to speak to some of the France players when you were there. I'm hoping they're not watching right now. How disappointed were they that they weren't in the final?
Very, very.
I know.
Yeah, you'd expect that. They're a team that goes deep in competitions regularly. World Cup winners, European, finalists, and they're a good side. They're a really good side. They got real depth. They've got some really, really experienced players, and let's get it real. There's still a massive fish in the sport, without a doubt. And they are quality. They've got some really real quality players, and sometimes they get a bad rep, but I think they're great. I get on great with all of them. See them regularly at top events, and they were probably more disappointed than us. Whereas we're moving forward, so it's improving, and that they're there to be shot down. And obviously the bite in the edge comes out of a match slightly in the third, fourth place. Let's not kid ourselves. But it was a really tight game, and we mixed up the pairings and the system for that, just to get some ideas and some things moving forward, and some things worked really well as well. So it was good to have that game at the end.
Yeah, well, luckily I had the advantage of seeing other games going on, while you were playing and stuff like that. And like the French team were, like, as you say, they're the ones that you sort of go, they're world champions, and they're world champions for a reason. Though I did, and this my opinion, others might not have seen it, but I saw in their semi-final what looked like complacency in a lot of their play. It didn't seem to. It's almost like they expected to reach the final. And this is something you brought up earlier, Tom, is that they weren't playing the game in front of them. They were thinking about the next game rather than that. And that's how it seemed to be coming across. It looked like they were playing thinking they'd already made the final. And it was something like, and we said that earlier, if you start on a level here, your opponents start here, you're always struggling from behind arch, aren't you?
Well, talking of France, Daniel's sat in the lobby waiting to come in, so he'd probably give you a better insight.
Right then. Well, we'll bring him in. I'm going to say goodbye to everyone just joining us here. Thank you so much, Dan, Tom, Paul. Huge congratulations again. It was a wonderful tournament from you all, and obviously we've got the videos to look back on and see it and relive it, and then hopefully we can all build on that and have many more years of great success in the world of football. Have yourselves a great Christmas, gentlemen. Thank you.
Cheers, Rob.
Thank you, guys.
So there we go. We'll say thank you to them and Paul. How what we're doing now, what we've pulled off just here is something quite
yeah. It's a first. It's a first for us in this country. It's our first overseas guest on the podcast, which there's no better place to start than European men's champions, Daniel.
There he is.
Evening, Daniel.
Good evening, guys.
How are you?
I can't see a trophy, Daniel. Who's got it?
Trophy is in the hands of team captain of Thomas Boulton.
He's looking up.
It was rotating on all the Friday evening, so we are happy we found it. And it was a little bit damaged, but everything is fixed.
You're not supposed to say that. Okay, so we've got to say huge congratulations to Slovakia, like winning the competition, and obviously we know that your women, obviously usually we know you've got world champion in your midst just there, and they played very well. Slovakia are probably looked at as one of the teams that it's like, oh, they're good. However, a lot of people think maybe they're just not good enough to win it. And I think this tournament was that you going, yes, we are, and watch this. And it was really refreshing to see how everyone goes. How did it all feel for the team?
Oh, Jesus, that was amazing feeling. I basically cried after that. So a lot of emotions, a lot of effort put it into the team before and during the competition. So everything was worth, and we basically proved we are good enough to be the champions. So yeah, great feelings.
It's always good because I've always, I mean, luckily again, I've been at competitions and various competitions and seen Slovakian players. They're always in and around the top. Whether you might get one that sort of just breaks into the top 5, top 3, and then another competition it'd be somebody else. But it's never been like there's not a how I look at it as there's a Slovakian player that you go, oh, they're the one to watch. It's just that one person. There's a lot of strength in depth in that Slovakian team. It doesn't see you haven't got like the one player and here's everybody else. It's like everyone on their day, any one of them could win it, and you can't pick out a name. It might be them, might be them. How has that sort of that feeling sort of progressed through the team? How does that come about?
I must say that we have chosen a fantastic team, fantastic group of guys, which were at the beginning. Everyone knows his position in the team. So if you are coming as a top player or you are coming as a substitute, you need to know it before, and you need to understand your position. And I'm happy that everyone in the team were really good with that, and it proved that actually even the substitute was playing the key role at the end in the finals. So it was a long week. We had some injuries, so some substitutes stepped in, and it worked.
But yeah, it definitely did work. I remember coming down on the on the final day. We finished the broadcast, and I was able to walk down to the 18th hole, and everybody was still there celebrating. It was like the game had just finished, even though it was about 20 minutes later. It was still like they're dancing around, tears, the celebrations. It's has the feeling settled down yet, or do you still feel on top of the world?
For me, it settled down a little bit, but yesterday, actually on Friday, we had a big gala in the cinemas with some refreshments, everything, and nice evening. So it remember me that feeling again. So yeah, it was really nice, and we are still feeling proud because we get a lot of messages, a lot of popular people actually send us videos cheering us during the Euros, and after all those places, I mean third place in US in World Cup, before third place in Hungary Euro, and before it was, I think, also third place in Britain for us. So this is a good satisfaction for the work we did, basically what Thomas did with all the associations. So they're really good.
I can see it's like, yeah, really, really good. So, like you say, there's been a progression. There's been third place, third place, third place. What do you think this time really made you make that step up into to actually winning it?
I think it was the team.
Mm-hmm.
It was the team, the players, everything we put together, and it was really good. What to say?
Sometimes it just works.
We basically did everything with Thomas for the team to have all the service. Actually, they didn't pay a lot, just a little, like a quarter of the expenses for the Euro. So they had everything for a couple of €100, and they can just enjoy the tournament and play what they know. Yeah. We proved actually on previous tournament, previous years, everywhere we go, we had positions in top 3 or we win the tournament. So we have a strong base of players, and actually it's harder for us to win Slovak Tour tournament than 500 somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because here in Slovakia, every tournament can win maybe 20 mans, can be on the first place. So it's a big competition between players, good quality. So the level is going up and up.
Yeah. Which, as you want, I think Paul was saying the same thing just a short while ago, how the levels are just stepping up, and that's basically, I think I saw that from watching across the world. You know, like yourself have stepped up and you've moved. Now you've got that first place, and we were looking at like Spain, who you beat in the final. They've now pushed on into a final. You know, they were always there or thereabouts, and never quite getting there as well. So I think the final, seeing yourselves and Spain, like two teams that were you know third, fourth, quite often, to say, oh, suddenly you've got two teams that have been pushing, knocking on the door, as it were, and they've now opened it. They've stepped up there, and they're really going for it. So it was a wonderful final to see, and thoroughly enjoyable, and seeing how it's going, and it was very tight.
And again,
Between
again, just touching on that, what we said before, the hard work pays off. Daniel
Yes.
Daniel will back that up. The hard work them guys put in, Thomas puts in. I've seen it. I've got to know these guys this year, and this is what we want to be. You know, that's simple as that. So we're coming for you, Daniel.
Yeah. Thank you. I have actually goosebumps. Better of course about the
Excuse me.
final. Yeah, the way at the beginning we were calculating a little bit, and we have seen that we will face probably France in the semifinals.
Yeah.
So I was personally a little worried, but the team was okay, and actually they played a perfect game against France. So everyone was so happy. We break the semifinals. And we moved another step forward, and the final was just the cherry on top for me.
Yeah, of course.
As they say, to be the best, you've got to beat the best. So well done.
Exactly.
What's the future for the Slovakian team? What's obviously now you are European champions. What's the next big step? World Cup?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, but we need to go every time game by game. So every game is different, and every tournament is different. When you see the players now, they have muscles injuries, blue legs completely. So they played maybe under some painkillers just to finish the game, but they put everything in and make that happen. So,
and you got your rewards. That's the main thing. You got your reward.
Yeah, actually, the English team was pretty good. You may be missing few good players, and I didn't expect you will make it to semifinals. So congratulations as well, because
Thank you.
When you split all the countries, so few players are there, few players are there, but England make I think good team, and with few more players in next years you can be again on top after Slovakia.
After Slovakia. I knew that was coming. Well, we can only say once again, thank you so much for joining us here.
Yes, thank you.
On the show. And yeah, it's been really good, and it was wonderful to see Slovakia become the European champions, and long may they have success, and and yourself as well. I hope that we can chat again in the future as well. Daniel, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Daniel.
Bye.
Bye. There we go. So good. It's nearly Christmas, so I'm going to turn my lights on.
Yeah.
There we go.
No, I think
we're just getting ready for that.
That's the final one of the year. And I think
It is.
It's a good way to bring the curtain down on a really good year. I think it's been a brilliant year this year. We improve year on year, so next year looks to be better. We've got the biggest competition in the world, so things can only get better. So my final words is thank you to everybody who supported us, continues to support us, who doesn't yet know foot golf exists. Thank you. But we will see you all in 2025. Have a great Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm going to say I'm not even going to stay on my own. I'm going to stay with you as well, right to the end. Absolutely the same thing as well. Thank you so much for inviting me onto the show to host it as well. It's really enjoyable, and as everyone knows, I have a huge love of foot golf, and I just don't think that's ever going to dissipate. Thank you, Paul. Thank you to the whole Foot Golf Association of England team for sort of having me involved. It's been a real pleasure, and I certainly look forward to seeing what is what is lined up over the next year.
Yeah,
And
a couple of surprises, isn't there? There's things we are working on.
there's some, man, and some more. I must give you a call and have
Yes.
another little chat with you as well. So there's some more to come. Thank you very much. Debbie Prashnikov has just messaged in. There we go. Merry Christmas, everyone. Good to see. I thought I certainly have. So cold in Turkey. No one thinks it. Thank you, Debbie. Very Merry Christmas to you all. Merry Christmas, Sean Rontry, who's just messaged in as well. Merry Christmas. Thank you so much to you, and Merry Christmas to everybody watching. Please do like, share, and subscribe, and we'll we'll see you all in 2025, most definitely.
Yep, we will.
Let's leave with a
Thank you,
Christmas
everyone.
title.
Yes.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Bye bye.
Yeah, have a good Christmas. Thank you.